So today we are out here in Grass Valley, California to get to the bottom of some energy, to resolve some energy, to restore balance, peace, harmony, and love in a home that is beautiful, that is full of light, that is full of love, that is surrounded by the most gorgeous nature. And this is a unique case, to say the least. Before we arrived, I did start feeling a lot of physical discomfort, a lot of pain. My body went through so much just pain, just sharp pain all over, just in various areas of my body. I've been having a lot of ear ringing, a lot of different sort of quote-unquote symptoms physically. And we do have a little background on the case. Most of the time we go in 100% cold, but there was some necessity to focus what we needed to achieve today, and what our client needed the most was some resolution due to a very severe tragedy that occurred on the premises. So in those type of cases, we're all right with getting a little bit of pre-information if it is deemed necessary or desired by the client to resolve a very specific set of issues. Some people need different levels of validation or different targeted solutions. So in this case, we want to talk to some very specific spirits and get some really, really useful information to get some healing for the family and to help the spirits get across what they need to get across. I don't know how much you're going to be comfortable with us saying on camera about the actual.
You can say it all.
Okay, so
they're in the newspaper. It's everywhere.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, because I didn't do any research as far as what actually happened. That part I didn't get into. I just knew that there was a death on the property, and a pretty horrendous way. This was a murder, and the person tried to cover it up. So the spirit so far has been showing me the areas, of the body that hurt, and our client has already validated my initial findings and feelings of just walking in, and also what I felt before we were on location. I felt my back. It almost felt like a spray hitting my back of just electrical pain, and I felt like almost sharp pokes all over. And then when I was standing here, I felt this horrible pain. That does actually match up with what turns out to be, unfortunately, how they passed. They were shot to death, and then the horrible crime, they tried to cover it up by fire. So it explains a lot of the things that I started to initially feel. There's a lot of validation that's already happened before we've even broken out any equipment. We have felt the presence of a very protective soul, a loving soul, one that is desperately trying to protect our client from any harm, trying to make sure the perimeter is safe, make sure she is safe and bubbled and having everything she needs. And I'm also getting impressions of this soul, it turns out to be her father, just try to send her signs, sending her animals, sending her all these different weird, cute little things of trying to say, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And that initial pain at home that I felt, of that horrible pain in my body, both in the back and then a lot in the front, and then my neck and my jaw really hurt really bad. All those things. He's not saying he's still in his death state. He's just showing me something that was connective and validating, so we could understand that we're talking to the very specific spirit that we need to be communicating with. So while it's a little bit different and a little unorthodox, while we had a small fragment of information, we still have a lot of exploring to do and information to uncover. There's still a few things that they want to know, and that the deceased energy wants to get across. And I don't think he's the only spirit here either. I actually think there are other ones. I don't feel anything threatening per se, but I do feel other spiritual energy. So as we do the walkthrough, maybe we can explore and see what else we actually feel and what we pick up. There might be other souls that want to come through and say something and validate. Ooh, man, that ringing keeps getting loud, and that right ear just ping. It's so unbelievably loud. But I do look forward to just getting our client answers to validate that that everything's okay, that there's peace that can be had here, and most of all, restore balance in this space. The balance needs to be restored. That is kind of our goal, even in these cases where we might have a snapshot snippet of what's happened in the location. That's not really a big deal. What I care about is how do we resolve it? How do we fix what clearly is feeling imbalanced to our client and bring peace to both the living and to the dead? That is what spirit is all about. So we'll figure it out.
And now we're doing the walkthrough.
Yeah, just kind of wandering about, feeling energy. That was really,
Yeah.
Please don't step on the boopies.
They're pretty good at moving.
I think I'll bless those. Make sure there's no. Well, no, there's no mirrors facing mirrors, so that's
That's good. That's
good.
helpful.
There's no direct facing, so that's helpful. But I'll still bless those
Yeah.
to wherever they're going. It's really uncomfortable, like in the whole lower abdomen area. Just I don't know who's coming. Sometimes I feel living energy, and sometimes I feel deceased energy. So both can be true for me.
My
So.
sister, not by blood, but my sister was in the ER this morning with kidney stones.
Oh.
And
Oh.
pain all there.
Oh.
And this used to be the room of my stepsister of like 35 years who had cerebral palsy. And she was in a wheelchair and diapered, and so it could be any.
Because it feels like either female pain or kidney and UTI type pain. It's what it feels like.
Her Anna and her energy over her. That's my sister.
Okay.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Help a little, please. Hello. Can't breathe. I can't breathe. I feel like I'm suffocating also.
Yeah.
I think I'll move a little. That's, for some reason I couldn't breathe right there. So I felt like I was suffocating.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's sort of a strange sensation out there. That, like right outside, I felt like, I don't know, it's almost a residual memory feeling. There's something very residual out there. Something that's replaying. He knew him. He knew the one that did this. Right. So we're getting confirmation on that. What he's saying to me is a lot of I shouldn't have been surprised, but I was surprised. There was this duality sort of thing, like, okay, so he was kind of a difficult personality, but I never thought that he would, it's that sort of back and forth is kind of what I'm hearing. They make me feel. That's how I receive a lot of the information. The connectivity, it's like this is a person that ordinarily, even though he had trouble, your dad wouldn't be like, he wouldn't think that he couldn't let him near him, right? Like it's okay, it's okay for you to be here. But then that changed. It started to change. It was a progressive change.
Correct.
I need you to be a little farther. I need you to be a little farther. I need you to be a little farther. And that became
That caused the jealousy.
rage and unbearable of, oh, you don't want me around you now?
That makes sense.
Okay. He's so proud of you for facing so much. For facing, oh, that rings a lot. For facing all of this. Did you have to go into court? Okay, because like he's so proud of, like, you literally have faced everything. You don't hide from the truth of it. He's like, I know it kills you, but God, you're so damn brave. Is what he's saying. Ooh, the pain too. Okay, I don't want the pain. Sorry. I know you're here. We're good. We're good. But it has caused more of a reclusive energy for sure. You definitely become more reclusive, partly because of your abilities and partly because of why trust people, they suck. You think you can trust the guy? Nah. Like, so you have a teeny little circle. I think you literally can count the people you like and trust on like maybe one or two hands at best. You know, it's like this. Stay in your lane. But yeah, he's extremely proud of your facing a lot of fears and facing a lot of things and standing up for what's right. There's a lot of acknowledgement for that. He's a little old-fashioned in some of his thought processes and values, though. It's kind of quaint. It's kind of weird. Literally, he's literally treating you like a princess. I mean, he's literally like trying to put a crown on your head. He's like, that's the imagery that he's showing me. Like, he loves the artwork, but he's funny about, like, he's like, all right, you know, like,
he and I had matching tattoos.
Okay. Yeah, it's like, he's just like, you know, she keeps going. She's not stopping. Like, you know, you get it. Yeah, but I think it's almost like you opened his eyes to sort of that comfortability with expression. Like, he felt very comfortable expressing himself because you won't judge. You're very open, so he was comfortable expressing himself. And so back when he was younger, how women were was different than how they are now, and so he has a different perspective, and he's like, well, my day, you know, it was different, but now it's cool, it's fun, it's this, you know, and so it broadened some horizons for him over time, and it's a weird thing that he's like, you, and I don't know if this is going to make sense, but he says, you actually saved me. And I don't know what that means. Like, obviously he's passed, but something in the way you are and the way you made him feel proud as a parent, like, you saved him. I don't know from what. Himself, or I don't know. But he feels like you saved him.
I can understand that.
Okay. So he's an interesting man. He's a very unique man, actually. He's a little stubborn, to be honest. A little sarcastic in his energy, his dry wit and his sarcasm, and definitely like, if he likes something a certain way, and in a certain, you know, doing something a certain way, you know, he'd sort of kind of like following that pattern. He liked order and pattern, and maybe that's why he keeps checking all the doors. Maybe there's a little OCD even sort of level to him, because he's just very methodical about stuff. So he's just kind of showing me all these patterns. He just keeps repeating all these patterns. And
He
then
gave that to me also. So.
Did he? Okay. No. Well, hey, you know, it can be useful. You know, there's a use for being methodical.
I agree. Not too.
And there seems to be a much older woman in the house, but I don't know who she is yet. But she's I don't know if she's ever been here or not, but she seems to be here for some reason. 80s, 90s years. Like she's older. And she just kind of puts in the background. She's like, we don't notice, we don't notice, somebody back here.
Just listening.
Yeah, she's
Like
she's just observing. And she's like, okay, just kind of, but she's like, 80s-ish, give or take. Just a nice little older lady. Don't know quite who she is yet, because she won't really come forward. She's just like, don't think me. I'm not getting in anybody's way. Kind of a soft-spoken energy, so far anyway. I don't know if she'll actually, maybe she's understanding what we're trying to do and who we're really trying to focus on. So maybe she's just being polite right now, but maybe she'll come forward later. Maybe she won't. There's a lot more animals in this house than I'm seeing, though. A lot more. There's a plethora more than just this. You have a zoo running around here. I walked into the dog zoo. Yeah, there's a lot of them. I think so. Possibly, I might be ready to go downstairs.
Okay.
I think I can handle. I think I'm grounded enough in his energy. I should be able to handle it.
Okay.
But I don't know what's going to happen with me as far as if I'm going to, what state I'll go into energetically. So everyone, hold on tight. It might be okay. We'll see. Stop. I'm almost ready. Just hold on. God, I'm so terrified of this.
Well, just ground.
I know it's going to be an onslaught of emotions. It's going to be
Right.
quick and it's going to be fast. Okay, just relax. Just do that. Just walk this space and then.
So it'll be a really cool kitchen when it's finished.
Thank you. I just did the
Yeah.
floors.
That's not good. I don't care for that.
Alright.
Oh, meow mix. That's so sharp. So sharp. Okay. I have to just feel it all. That sounds great. Why? You're lucky the house is still here. So close to not being here.
Is that why it's being renovated? Okay.
From the fire.
So that's validation.
It's,
Because he tried to cover it up by fire.
they,
Right.
yeah, no, they didn't, they hit him. Like, there was like an altercation, sort of, it was almost like, or maybe he hit him afterwards out of anger. There was some sort of, I see a fist, type of thing. Obviously, the manner of death was a lot more violent, but it was almost like a hit and a kick and just F you type of, like, I mean, this is vile. This is vile rage. Fucking psycho. Jesus Christ, man. I don't know how deep you want me to flow into the energy, because I don't want to traumatize you.
I'll be fine.
Because
I just seen, I put my dad out.
Oh man. Okay. So you've had to endure the worst part of the trauma. I'm just getting like, it's such rapid fire of energy from so many different sources that I'm having a hard time almost containing it, and but it's drawing in all these different directions, and I'm feeling so chaotic. So chaotic. Yeah, it's horrifying. It has such intensity. Something keeps touching me. Does he poke you a little bit here and there? Do you ever feel tapped and stuff? Because I keep feeling poked. It's like, here. Okay.
Yeah, I just think I'm crazy most of the time.
No. I like 5 or 6 times now I've gotten a tap somewhere, and just, it's like, it's ever so slight, but I keep getting tapped. Am I running into things? No.
Right.
It's kind of weird. Oh, how?
It was really loud.
Yeah, it really hurts.
When it happened, there weren't stairs. And I was putting my kids to bed. And
So he had his own
yes.
suite, and you had your own
Correct.
part. Yeah. Okay.
And
Because I keep being drawn here.
it's like right here.
Because it's like, I feel like somebody had to come through here.
He went out and got the gasoline and came back in through that door.
Oh. The one I'm standing there staring at before, because I feel like your dad's soul was like having this, he could see him walk out the door. And I don't know if it was like literal or it was like spiritual sight or what kind of sight, but he saw him walk out the door. But I also feel like, because I feel like he came in this way too.
He did.
Okay. Oh yeah, okay. Let's just take a moment and do this. And here, over here. What are you doing? Why are you here? Why are you here? I told you not to be here. Don't fucking care. You need to leave. You need to leave. Please. Oh, that's not okay. That's not okay. Oh, yeah, feel all of it. That's nice. It's heavy. I don't think I've done a murder case in a while, have I? Oh. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Just grab it. It's moving. Somebody's moving him. Oh my God. This is horrifying. almost felt like he was going to get something to protect himself.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, well, then it's not really a way to go.
I couldn't hear them. There was no arguments, there was no yelling.
Yeah.
And it was the first clip of the gun. And it sounded, I'm familiar with firearms. I didn't think it was a gun. It sounded like a hammer on metal. And I was like, what? And it was late. We're very respectful of each other's space and the fact that he knew my kids were home and that I was there. And then there was another succession, and because I'm a counter, they were equal 9. And then it was very quiet, and I was texting, I put my kids to bed, and I was texting my dad. And then there was just this, I felt it more than I heard it. After he dumped gas on my dad, he opened the oven, turned on all the burners, and it was like when you light a campfire, that whoosh, and the whole house did that. And then he ran, and he took off. And all I learned in court, in between the shooting and the fire, he took a shower.
Oh my God.
And because the stairs weren't here is why the whole house didn't go up, because there was so much gas that there wasn't enough oxygen.
Oh wow.
And so I told the kids I would come. I said, stay in your beds, I'll come back. And I came down here and saw the fire, and one fire extinguisher didn't work, and the neighbor came running and helped, and it was very smoky. And when I went upstairs to get the other fire extinguisher, the whole house was filled with smoke, and my kids were, so I got the kids and took them out, and got the dogs out, and came downstairs, and I put together very quickly when I saw the first gunshot. I just knew everything that happened. I saw the whole thing and put it all together. And I knew enough not to touch anything.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make sure that he was gone. Before I wasn't going to leave him. And I didn't leave him until they picked me up and carried me out. But he was smoldering a little, and I touched him. Because I didn't want to leave him.
No.
No, I understand that.
I tried to come down earlier, and I saw that guy was here, and I didn't come in. And I wonder if that would have changed things.
He would have come another time. He was hell-bent. One way or the other, he was hell-bent on destruction. And, you know, what I felt when I was seeing is that, you know, he wanted to come in. He's like, hey, dude, I don't want you here. I don't really, you know, you got to take off. It's late. I don't, you know, he was like, you're not supposed to be here. Oh, what the, you know, he was, hey, I can be here, you know, and it wasn't knock down, drag out, but it was like, dude, you gotta go.
Right.
And no, I actually don't. The mind feels fractured. It almost feels like either multiple personality or bipolar, something very unstable, mixed with maybe, you know, he had trouble with substances, like that combination of things. And I don't know why he felt like he was so angry at him. And I don't even know why. Like it doesn't feel like there should be a reason. It just feels like this displaced evil. But even if you interrupted that evening, I mean, it could have been different. It could have been worse. He could have destroyed the entire. You all could have been killed. You know, he was determined to cause harm. I don't think that anything you did was going to change that man's issues. Yeah, have to let go of the blame. That's not for you to hold on to. That doesn't belong to you. That's not your burden to bear. All the things that I felt were just so intense, so damn intense. But I don't feel your dad is earthbound. I don't feel that he got confused or stuck, because sometimes that happens with, traumatic death, that kind of thing. He's busy trying to help now. Apparently that was always his job, to help and fix and take care of everyone, and now he still wants to do all that. Like he hasn't stopped that job, just because I'm not here, but I am here. So I really feel like he's still doing,
That makes sense to me.
all of the things he would want to do. He's trying to give his opinion on how to paint. He's like, I could do this, you could do that. Why don't you just be simple and just do this? And very streamlined, that man.
Yeah.
So I said, it's fine. Just make it simple. You don't have to do all that. He's almost got this vibe of like, he's so structured. He's so structured with things. It's hard to even figure out. It's like, you said he was like kind of nerdy and stuff, but I almost get the feeling of like an electrical engineer type of feeling, like that brain wavelength.
That makes sense.
Like that seems like his world. Very interesting man, though. Very, very unique. He's got a real spunky, weird, but cool personality. Like, are you serious right now? But he's also really doing and really loving, but kind of weird. Aren't we all a little weird? I mean, honestly. But I feel like he was watching something at the time. I feel like I don't know what he was watching, but I feel like he was just kicking, like he obviously wasn't expecting company.
No.
Like that wasn't in his mindset. He was just, hey, we're just kicking back. We're not, like, there wasn't any expectation of company.
No.
So, man, the energy down here is quite intense, and the ear ringing is so unbelievably loud in here. Definitely going to smudge this area profusely. So we'll have to open a couple of windows or something, when we do the smudge, that is, I gotta get this residual energy out, because it's pretty thick. As you would understand, I know. Do you have trouble being down here? I mean, for obvious reasons, but just for energetic reasons too. Does it make you feel a little weighted down and stuff? Yeah. It feels like you're walking through jello, for me anyway.
It's a good analogy.
Yeah.
I find it hard to come and like work in here just because it's exhausting.
Yeah.
What, should you think is going to take an hour, takes 5. Because it's just, it's just hard. I don't know. That's a good analogy.
You're just like, trying to walk through this like gelatinous material, like, okay, I can't get to the next thing, and you just feel like you literally are just empty of energy.
Yeah.
Maybe and hopefully a good solid smudge will lift some of the vibration, and it'll make it that much easier to move forward, because you absolutely do deserve to move forward.
The house to be done, so the kids can have like a normal house, and we can
Just get on with your life.
I think people were surprised I stayed.
Yeah. But this is your home.
I sort of felt like fuck that guy, he's not taking away our forever home.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna make good happy memories here. Like, you're not taking that from us.
Yeah, he already took something very precious. My God, he can't take everything. Stupid jerk doesn't deserve that. So, no, I get that it would be hard, but in a way, that kind of history, I mean, it would be hard for somebody to be comfortable in buying a place with a history like that too. So you may as well just restore the balance and the energy and the light and the love in the space, and Dad's not going anywhere. He's gonna hang out with you anyway. So you can't get rid of. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very, it does seem like in a funny, cute way, stubborn. Just this kind of like, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'm like, okay.
It's a great phrase. So this tattoo, like you were telling me, if you want to do this or you want this plant to live, you should do this. And I'd say, I do what I want. And he would say to me, but if you want it to like grow and, you know, tell me the same exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
So then I would teasingly say to him, I'll do what the fuck it is I would like to do. And that's what this says. It's in Italian.
Oh,
and
okay.
I did it in honor of him.
Aww.
Instead of like, you know, just getting dad. So that's what that says. And so I'll do what the fuck it is I would like to do. And so you saying that is really an interesting.
Well, we're just plugging into the other side. That's part of the magic of spirit is we plug into the wonderful souls. And he's a cool dude though. I think he's very helpful and he's trying to continue to be helpful. So hopefully he'll help us today in restoring balance. We're overdue. You deserve some peace. You deserve your home. And your family deserves to have that balance put back into it. I mean, especially with kids, I mean, my God, I'm sure it's been quite the road for them too, to get back to where they feel a little more okay.
I think they were in like 10, 9, and 6. When I hung up.
Yeah.
7,
How long ago was this?
3 years.
Okay.
Happened on March 20th, which actually was the murderer's birthday.
What the hell? What kind of well,
I know.
it's a psychotic thing to do. Oh my God. And so, obviously I felt like he knew him, so if you want to validate, like, how did he know him? Like, where did he meet him?
They met through like a mutual friend, and this guy was just moving here from out of state, running from his past elsewhere.
Oh, jeez.
And my dad just was trying to help him out. And then his behavior became erratic, and I never tried to pull a trump card with my dad about who could be here, who could what he could do. And I said, this man can't be here ever again.
You could just tell
And
the
he
vibration.
left.
Yeah.
He left, and I knew that he was a felon at this point. I had learned through some friends that he was a felon. And I saw him with a gun, so I knew it was not a registered gun. Mm-hmm. And I just knew it was bad. And I told my dad he can never be here. And my dad told him, and he left and went back to Nebraska. And drove from Nebraska straight here. Went through Elko, Nevada, called my dad, asked for mine. My dad said no. He showed up here on a Sunday around 5 or 6 and killed my dad around 8:30 or 9, I believe. And I know that my dad was probably peacefully trying
Yeah, just to
to
say,
say,
you
yeah,
gotta
you gotta go.
go.
It's a school night, like it's a Sunday, like it's.
Yeah.
And I think maybe the guy tried to ask my dad, like, hey, can I borrow money? Like, you could hold this gun, or do you want to buy this gun from me? Because the case was laid out with the clip and an empty box of ammo. Like, so it's not like it was like ambushed, because he wouldn't do that. So I think he was. I mean, I'll never know the truth, but I think he was like, lend me $100 and you can hold on to this, or, but you know, do you want to buy it from me?
Says
But it was
no, leave. Well, fine. I'll
and
just.
I think when my dad said no, and it's, you know, he didn't pack that up and go, I think is when he just lost his shit.
Yeah.
And he didn't. He was a coward about it. I mean, the shots all came from the back.
Because I literally felt like I was turning around to be like, dude, I'm done with this. I know. And he was walking away, and then just, you know, I do feel this energy of him, like I felt earlier with the hand, I feel like he did sort of do sort of like that, and, you know, and just sort of a flailing, like, just stop.
You were literally turning around from this room and starting to walk down the hall when you really felt it.
Yeah.
So that's interesting you said you were shot in the back.
It's quite painful, to say the least.
see.
You know, I've always loved being validated, but this is one of the times where it's just like, you know, it's a real double edge. I don't like that I have to feel to be validated on that. I don't like that to have happened to such a good man, you know, a nice man. It's just like, it disgusts my soul to think somebody could be so vile and heartless and take out a real strong, solid man's man, take care of family, love family, do whatever he could type of energy, real good dude, and some piece of crap could do that. Like, I'm glad I could validate for your dad that he wanted to show me the pain, he wanted to show me where it hurt, like, so you could know that it was him, and I get that, and that's really validating, but damn it, you know, like, I hate that somebody could do something so horrendous to a beautiful family, you know. I really do hope you're out. I mean, I don't, obviously, so he got life.
He got sentenced. In California, it's interesting. He got 50 to life. 25 to life for murder in first degree, and a gun enhancement charge of 25 to life. But California elected not only to reinstate the death penalty, but also to offer lifers sympathy parole when they hit 60. And I had a very difficult time with that, but then I sat with it for a minute and realized he won't be in there that long. He won't.
No.
How long until he hit 60?
He was 34 the day it happened.
Okay, so that's quite a while. Somebody will probably
2041.
So he's got
Another
another 20 plus years before he'll even be eligible for parole.
it'll be 22 years.
Yeah.
Is what he would say.
Honestly, he committed murder and arson. I mean, no, I'm sorry. That doesn't weigh heavy for me. Yeah.
Like, it's kind of one of those, like, it's kind of confusing legislation for people.
Yeah.
But I don't worry about.
There's nothing you can really do.
But I don't worry about having to even go to the parole board when I don't think that's gonna happen.
No, probably not.
And I don't carry that, and I let go of it and told him in court, like, I forgive you because I won't carry that. Like, my kids deserve for me to not.
Yeah, no. The moving forward is the most.
You're not a burden I choose to bear.
Yeah, good. No, he has no rights to the energy here, and so all we can do is clear the residual memory of all of that out, so you can keep building on to the joy that you're trying to have here. So I think we'll work on that. I would say maybe we can do bring out a couple meters. I don't know if we want to bring them down here or not. I'm sure your dad is happy to join us upstairs too.
Yeah.
And we can try a little spirit box, maybe a little SLS, and just kind of see what we get. But focus mostly on the blessing part of it.
I can bring some meters down here if you want me to.
Either which way. I just think we could do a little bit of validation, but
Sure.
I'd like to see if he wants to interact with anything.
Yeah, that's got to be the focus. Yeah.
I want
agree.
him to have his voice if he wants to say anything or do anything or play with meters or gadgets.
Sure.
I want to give him the chance
Okay.
to interact with you, so we can give that a go.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Man, that's a heavy one.
I'm sorry you had to feel that.
Well, it's the joy of being an empath. It's
Sorry, it's so much.